Hello and welcome to the King's Forum podcast show. I have a very special guest on the show. Michael, how you doing?
I'm great, Mike. How are you today?
Yeah, not too bad. I know we've been trying to do this for a while, so it's nice to finally get it together.
It is. Nice to meet you, man. Nice to see you.
I got in the background, if you can see it, if I duck down.
Love it.
I want to call this the road to recovery. Yeah, because and the thing about that, and it's always good to make this clear that it's an ongoing process, because we can always say, oh yeah, you've recovered and that's it, and it stops there. No, it doesn't. The work's a continuous daily thing, and I just want people to make that clear to my viewers and people watching this, that it's an ongoing process, because the saying talk is cheap is so true, because we can talk about, oh yeah, you got over this or whatever, but the reality is, it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of effort to get to this point. And we're celebrating 411 days, Mike.
Woo! Come on, absolutely buzzing, mate. I am, and it might annoy some people, and I get it, because I've been at a place where I couldn't get 5 days, 10 days, 30 days, and I was constantly starting again. And I would see people in my position, and it would hurt me. And it was more because I wanted what they had. So I'm trying not to celebrate throw it in people's face. It's more about, if I can do it, everyone else can. Do you know what I mean? If I can do it, anyone else can. And we're here to help and pass the message on. So thank you, Michael, for giving me this time.
Listen, you're welcome.
Share a message of strength and hope. Thank you.
You're welcome. And just to make it clear, it's 411 days from
alcohol and cocaine.
Yeah, we didn't mention that. I just said, road to recovery.
Yeah, no, alcohol and cocaine. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it could have been anything, couldn't it? Yeah, no drink, no sniff, mate. None of that devil's dandruff, none of the alcohol for me. It's the best thing I ever done.
I think the key thing here, Mike, why I wanted to talk to you about this, because there was topics we could have talked about, mental health, and I'm sure further down the line, if this is something you enjoy, that we would do more in regards to mental well-being. But I think your story is so important. And, being a male and how we suppress our feelings, and, we bottle it all up, and it eats us away on the inside. So there's things like alcohol, drugs that we go to get that relief, or takes us away from our situation, whether it's temporarily or however long that high lasts. It's because we're struggling. So just talk to me about how you got to that dark place, because we talked about, I wanted to start with the celebration, because that's important, because that is a landmark. And as I say, even if it was just 5 days, 1 day, it's an achievement. And we put a lot of pressure on ourselves as people, never mind men, to achieve things. And sometimes you just have to give yourself credit and say, you know what, I got this far. So that's a start. We all have to start somewhere. So talk about how, you were in that dark place and these addictions started.
Thanks, Michael. Again, thanks for letting me pass the message on strength and hope. Celebrate 411 days today. Unbelievable. Thankful to God, people like yourself, everyone online, all my community that helped me, all my brothers who are like-minded, that are on the phone to me daily, they're coming to meet me. Thanks, everyone. Love and support really helps me. Yeah, it started a long time ago, but it started before I knew it started, if that makes sense. So going back to a childhood, grew up in Manchester, South Manchester, just like any major city, really. You have your good places, your bad. I thought, brought up well. Mum and dad, working people, working class people. Mum had 3 jobs, 2 jobs at a time. My dad worked nights. He gave me a good moral compass, told me right from wrong. I had loads of love and support at home. Where I grew up was pretty suburban, urban, a lot of gang culture, drugs, muggings, etc., like we have everywhere. So for a male growing up very early on, I learned, or had to learn, subconsciously, not to show any weakness and not to talk, because I'd seen with my own eyes, growing up through schools and on the street, lads who show weakness, you get had off some sort of way, you get left out, you're getting bullied, whatever. So to protect myself, I started implementing all these things without even knowing I was doing it. So to cut on, I had a decent childhood, left school, and everything changed. I didn't actually drink until I was 17. I didn't take my first drug until I was 18. I wanted to be a footballer. I was into my health, and I was pretty good at footy, and it's a focus for me. But even looking back now throughout them times, before I ever drank and used, I always felt a bit different. I always felt a bit hyper energy, or felt like I was looking from the outside in. Never felt a part of, but I never spoke about it because I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
And I just thought everyone must feel like this. Start drinking and using, and bang, it blew my life apart. But for the good at the start, because all of a sudden I was insecure and underconfident, self-esteem was low. When I started drinking, it lifted me right up. It lit me up like a Christmas tree. I got given these superpowers that I've been longing for all my life.
Yeah.
And I remember the moments. It was beautiful. Yeah, it was beautiful. I'm not going to lie. Some of the best moments of my life was on drinking music. Yeah, unfortunately to say, but a lot of the majority of my worst moments was on that. So this was like a solution to my problems, the drinking and drugs in my teens. I was like, wow, I'm speaking to girls. You know, I'm going to chat to other lads I never thought I had the confidence to. Other people are starting to like me. That's what I thought. I was doing their thinking. I thought everyone's starting to like me. Michael's right. Little did I know, undiagnosed mental health, not dealing with anything in life because I'm a male, just bottling it all up. Got to 25 when my son was first born, and it just got to the point where I was spending the rent money on drinking drugs. I was spending it on my habit instead of my son and his nappies and rent. I was losing self-respect. I wasn't brushing my teeth and washing properly. My behaviours were all over the place. It led me to crime and stuff like that, getting involved in stuff that I would never usually got involved in. And, you know, it took me 10 years of going to meetings and therapy, CBT, meditation, prayer, building up a network of like-minded people. Most importantly, finding a balance that works just for me. Because unfortunately, I know loads of people in recovery. And what I know is we all suffer from the same sort of thing: addiction, alcoholism, mental health. But everyone's journey is different and unique to them. So what necessarily works for me might not necessarily work for you, but bits will. And I had to find what works for me. And for God's grace, and thank God and everyone else, it's working at this moment in time daily. And that's, you know, eating as clean as I can. I'm still like a pig, I eat shit sometimes, but I'm aware that I need to have a good diet. Do you know what I mean? A pretty good diet, because that helps with this big time. Exercise is crucial for me. Routine, massive. You know, I need to not keep myself busy, because today I can sit with my own thoughts, but not for too long.
Yeah.
But as long as I can plan my day, a morning ritual and an evening ritual, being surrounded like with people like yourself, having them chats, getting it all out, no matter what it is, get it out. That's what I found has helped me today. And don't get me wrong, the support of my missus and the close people around me is overwhelming, and it's because of, you know, all that sort of good stuff. But you've got to do it daily.
Yeah.
Daily.
I was just gonna say, how difficult was it? Because you talked about the superpowers you gained when you were using or drinking. You know, how low were the lows, the come down? Because that's the opposite. It lifted you. Yeah. It lifted you and made you feel invincible. You know, it gave you that comfort. You know, you was wearing a cape when you were using. You're super
every day, man.
You're someone. You were someone else. But talk to me about that downtime, the come down from all of that, the dealing with your reality.
Yeah. So my reality was distorted, and for many years, the majority of my 20s and my 30s, it was distorted. I was either coming down, or I was on and up. I never used daily. I was more of a binge user. It was always when life got too much for me. That could be within a matter of days or a matter of weeks. But because I didn't talk, I didn't have this balance in life. I didn't have anyone to go to. I didn't have morning rituals, self-care principles in place. I was just on alpha male, Michael from Manchester, don't want to talk to any fucker because it's a weakness and I can do it. Do you know what I mean? It's stiff upper lip. That shit nearly made me kill myself on a few occasions. Luckily, I never actually went through with the thought, but I've been very close. And growing up, throughout the 20s, that was quite a common thing to think of dying. And it's horrible for me to admit that. I've got 2 beautiful kids, I've got one on the way, but you know what? I accept it today because I was in that place at that time because of my inability to deal with life, my inability to talk to anyone, and the drugs. They just speed your depression, anxiety, psychosis, paranoia. They speed it up by 1,000,000 times.
Yeah.
And the dark places were just. Every time I come down here, I wanted to get a gun and blow my head off. And I didn't care about the kids at the time. I didn't care about my parents or my missus because the pain I put myself through, I knew I shouldn't be doing it. And I was doing this shit against my will, brother. And that's when it's painful, man. When I can look at a picture of my kids on my phone while I'm sat in a flat 2 days in, and, you know, I'll cry, and then the phone will go down and I'll sniff another line. And it's uncontrollable, it's scary, it's fearful. You know, the dark places, I didn't want to live. I was tired of living and I was tired of trying and failing all the time. That's how it felt. I felt like no one understood. I was pushing everyone away because no one understood. And obviously I'm agitated, I'm restless, I'm discontent, I'm hating the world. I don't even love myself, so I'm not going to love my kids. But at that moment in time, I can't see all the shit I know now, man. I could only see darkness and despair, and I was selfish and self-loathing. And I don't know how I'm here, to be honest. I do. I put action in, but looking back and talking about them times, mate, it's such a different me in a different world. It's unbelievable, man. And I'm so grateful to be where I am, and every man can be where I am today. Don't get me wrong. I ain't got millions of pounds in the bank. Yeah, I've not got this, that, and the other. What it is for me now, peace of mind, being able to step up every day for my missus and my kids, and be putting my head on the pillow and being proud that I've actually done something worthwhile for others today, not about me. I was self-serving the majority of my life, and I'm only finding now helping others is the best feeling beyond any type of drug I've ever had.
Yeah, purpose.
And that helps me, brother. And I swear on my life, exactly. I feel like I've got purpose now. That's why I got to a year clean, and I never thought I'd ever get to a year, mate. I got to it, and that's when I hyped me. I started putting more time and effort into my social media because I sort of astounded myself.
Yeah.
But then I thought, right, no, I need to be a voice. I've got a voice. I need to be a voice, because if it wasn't for other men like yourself and others who went in front of me and showed me and given me time and love and support and hard love sometimes, I wouldn't be here now. So I have to try.
Yeah. Love that. Love that. I love that. You know, talk to me about the light bulb moment. When did it go off?
Right. So the light bulb sort of, oh, you mean the end of me using and drinking the start of changing my life?
You said, you know what? This has to stop.
Yeah. So it's going to sound really weird. It might not. I've had loads of them times. Or it felt like it did. And every time I had to, if you had to put me on a lie detector test, I would have passed it, because I was in such mental, physical, spiritual pain, mate. I just wanted to end my life. So I was like, I'm never doing that again. And I failed every time. The last time, it was 411 days ago, I ended up, like every time I went binging, I ended up in seedy, dark, dangerous places, man. Yeah. Because no one done what I done who were normal. You just don't. You know, addiction. You know, I'd step over my kids to have a line of coke. That's when it gets that bad. For the love of my own kids, they couldn't stop me. The love of them couldn't stop me. The love of my family couldn't stop me. Yeah, that's how bad it got. So 411 days ago was an accumulation of the majority of my adult life. Like I said, I had to go through the physical. You know what I mean? I'm one that I can listen to the theory, but I also need to do the practical as well. I need them both, because I've had all the support and didn't listen. So I had to, unfortunately, or fortunately, because it's made me who I am, I went through that pain, and all I can say is something just broke.
Mm.
It was like people talk about surrender, and that's the only thing that can explain it. And it's like this is I don't know how to explain it. I knew I was going to die anyway. I knew if I kept on going, I was going to die, lose my kids, lose my job, go to jail, whatever. It's not enough. Just whatever it was, a divine intervention, a moment of pure clarity. But since that last year's up, mate, dark, dangerous, with people I didn't even know. I was with people I didn't even know. That's what you do. And it was horrible, mate. It was horrible, man. My daughter was only 2. Got a son who was 9. You know, I'm an engineer, mate, by trade. You know, people on the outside would look at me as if I had everything. I had everything, all my faculties, because I can put a mask on, I can dress up, I can talk the talk. And like you said, I never put the action in. So everyone, a lot of people I could hide. No one, probably people now put it on the WhatsApp or the Instagram. I bet some people are a bit surprised. But yeah, it's a tough road, man, but we're here and it can be done.
Yeah. What advice would you give to someone in a similar place you were 411 days ago?
So if you are coming back off a relapse or a big use up, or you've literally had enough that you have to have anything to do with drugs, if you're at a mental breaking point, life's getting too much, number one, seek help. And I know everyone says it, and it's easier said than done. But believe me, if you seek help, you for one will feel better about it. And you don't have to tell anyone, by the way. You don't have to bare your soul to anyone. Go and do it for yourself. Seek help from your GP. Go to see someone who you trust, your parents, or someone who's got a bit of knowledge. Secondly, get around like-minded people. I had to cut deadwood off, mate.
Yeah.
And I'm still cutting certain deadwood off now. I'm just growing and maturing and realizing the energy I need around me and the path I need to take with certain people. You know, and it's not against anyone really, but cutting people off, you've got to, because they will do it to you. You've got to look after yourself. When it comes to recovery and mental illnesses, you've got to put yourself first. So like-minded people, ask for help, healthy, balanced diet, get out if it's just a walk in nature. Nature is unbelievable. It's weird, you know, just go and try it. Yeah, another thing, I stopped listening to the news to that because too much negativity, mate.
Yeah.
Call me an empath or whatever. It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
You know, I was good at focusing on all the external the majority of my adult life. And then that leaves a gaping hole here. Whereas now I'm turning it gradually, and it's about that balance. So yeah, fitness, getting out in nature, healthy diet, surround yourself with like-minded people. If it's a drink or drug issue, AA, CA, NA, go to one-to-one therapy. NHS do it freely or pay for privately. You've got CBT therapy out there. There's loads and loads of information, man. Go onto the Mind website. You get contact details, and it's all about us going against that little voice, because everyone's got it. That little voice that says, don't go and ask for help today. And you're like, nah, yeah, I won't then. And it's dead easy, but you need to break that cycle, because no one's going to break it for you. No one's going to break it for you.
Thank you. Great advice. Talk a little bit about BU Lifestyle and why you put that together.
Thanks for this, Michael. So BU Lifestyle I put it up about 3-4 years ago. Obviously, I was actively out there, lunatic, but holding this shit together. And BU, I started it because it's about being yourself, and everyone's unique, so finding who you truly are. And it's wanting to encourage that, because I followed the sheep for the majority of my life. And I'm not a sheep, I'm my own person. And BU was also for me to make myself accountable for my recovery. I'll tell you why. Making yourself accountable by admitting and asking for help is a power that generates from within, and it grows and grows. Because as long as I keep that dirty, dark secret hid away, it's going to eat me alive, like you spoken before. So BU originally was to make me accountable and to help others. And then because I was in quite a bad way a year ago, I sort of not been that active on it. And like I said, I got a year, and I thought, oh my God, if I can do it, because like I said, I couldn't believe it myself. I was like, all right, I need to pass a message on, man. Whether it only helps one person, I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered anymore, because I know what we're doing is genuine. It's passionate and it's pure love, man. It's his only love. I don't want anything from you or anyone else. Like, you don't want anything from me. I just want to know you're okay. And if I can help you get okay, that's even better. So yeah, be you, man. Thank you. Yeah, it's just a place where you can come, have a laugh, get some info, build a network up, bit of guidance, bit of direction. Yeah, it's good, man. It's keeping me active.
Yeah, I always love your content because of the positivity and the
Thank you, mate.
And that's why I connected with people like yourself. It's that authenticity, man. That reality on. For me, platforms like social media can be so fake at times, and wanting people to be sheep and just following the herd. So it's nice when shepherds like yourself come out and I can say, look, he's doing his thing. Let's connect and do something together, because we're just trying to spread love and help others where we can and uplift others as much as we can. And that's why I started my platform. So it's nice to connect with like-minded people like yourself. It's always a positive.
The love is mutual, man. Pure love, Michael. I swear to God.
Do you set yourself goals? Have you got any goals for the future, or do you just take one day at a time? How do you go about your, obviously this road is a long road and it doesn't end. You don't see something and I keep on going. There's more road ahead of you.
Wow, is this ever stopping? Mate, it's constant, mate. So that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. It's the journey, isn't it? It's the journey.
Listen, life is life's one big journey.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, do you set yourself goals or targets to aim for, or how do you go about this journey you're on in keeping on the right road?
So yeah, good question. With my recovery, it's daily. It has to be daily. Don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect. I'm not a Buddha. I'm not a monk. Far from it. I'm not very spiritual. I'm growing spiritually. Like you say, it's a lesson for life, constantly growing, and I'm not perfect. So there's some days I'm not as active in the recovery, but I can be aware of that, I can feel it and get back onto it. One thing I will say, if you don't do your routine for a certain amount of time, a week or two, it will bite you back in the arse. If you're an addict, your behaviours will come out. You might even drink or use again. But from a recovery, it's daily. Excuse me. So it can start off, which is very important, which I'm not practicing what I preach at the minute, but usually it's a good 7 to 8 hours sleep every night. Same time, same, if you can. Getting sleep is massive. First thing in the morning, getting up, and it's little goals like making your bed, because that to me is the first win. The amount of time, I'll rewind that, not pressing snooze. Because I can press snooze, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. For me, it's a win. Because if I just snooze and snooze and snooze, I'm only telling my head, I'm not going to have to fight in me today. It's little things like that, press snooze, get up, make my bed. It's little wins like that sets me up for the day. Have a morning routine, or it's sit down for 10 minutes, have a bit of meditation, read a prayer, speak to someone through recovery or one of your mentors or something like that. Morning ritual. So good sleep, morning ritual. Daily, I try and help someone as much as I can. Whether it's smiling, opening a door, I need to feel them endorphins of helping others. I want to know that I'm helping others. That's massive, being selfless daily. Exercise, good food, speaking to others like yourself and me, getting that voice out there, your concerns, your thoughts. That's on a daily. Goals in terms of career, in terms of fitness-wise, I can do them weekly, monthly. But in terms of my mental health and my recovery, for me, it has to be daily.
Yeah.
I can afford to maybe miss a few days where I'm not 100%, but I need to know that, like you said, this is for life. And in my experience, I was a serial relapser. So when I used to go to the rooms of AACANA, it was embarrassing because I was watching people get better, and I was like a revolving door. I kept coming in, going out, coming in. Mate, I just thought I was going to die. I didn't think I was ever going to get it. And I know it's through consistency, daily hard work consistency, which does get easier. That's how I am the way I am today.
Cool. Love that. Love that, Michael. I'd just like to say a big thank you for coming on the show. Much appreciated, and such great advice, and you're an inspiration. You should feel proud of yourself.
Yeah. Thank you.
Coming to this point, and the realization that, you know, it's a long road, and it's not going to be cured overnight, and it's something you have to work on continuously, but you made that step and you've got to this point now. So, you know, I just wish you all the best, and I hope, you know, you keep on spreading that love and positivity on your platforms, and yeah, just wish you all the best.
And you, Michael, thanks a lot, man. You're an amazing brother. Thank you. Have a top day.
You too. Just before we go, what can people find you on? Is it just Instagram or what?
Yeah, so Instagram, it's BU_lifestyle. YouTube, it's BU_lifestyle, and it's the same on TikTok as well.
Cool.
So yeah, it's the same content going out. It's all about positivity. It's all about helping out recovery, guidance, support. You can contact me, DM me. My WhatsApp's on there, my email. I'm here to help others freely. If any other man wants to talk, I can guide it.
Cool. Love that. Love that. People, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel and Michael's channel, and see you guys soon. Love.